Alright everyone, I'm going to continue this animation here. You can hear my car. It's pretty loud right now, but we're going to finish this one. And always got to remember, got to get used to the workflow of Procreate Dreams. Okay. Because I kept trying to hit Command Z on my keyboard, but I have to remember that Procreate Dreams does not have the keyboard compatibility that I need, so I have to press the undo button manually with my left hand, but that's fine because I'm trying to reduce the amount that I use that button anyway. So I'm not clear where the folds in this left side is going to be, but I think this looks okay. I think the hands look okay. Yeah, I remember we were almost done with this frame. I think we pretty much just got to do the feet here. Okay. And we didn't prepare with the topic again. So let's think of one right now. Improvise. I gotta remember there's some pre-video prep that I gotta do. I gotta make sure everything's set up. I gotta make sure my microphone's on. I gotta make sure I'm in the right, position in my car, or office or whatever, wherever it is I'm working. I usually work in my car. Nice little private place. With my chargers, and I got, depending on where, it's just I can work anywhere, and I can go anywhere with my car. So whether I'm at home or work, I just can go in the car and kind of use it as an office. That's kind of been my workflow lately. Okay. I don't know what topic I want to talk about yet. Last time I was talking about the rule of Saint Basil, asceticism, community. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about YouTube. I was going to talk about YouTube as community, and I've always wanted to kind of foster some kind of community. It's kind of always been I guess a reflex of mine, not a reflex, but like, bringing people together. I used to work in like youth ministry a long time ago in my church. Well, the double tap is not working. Sometimes the double tap does not work. It's weird. And one of the things we, wanted to do, quote unquote, evangelization, which for us meant, going out and finding other kids to bring to a youth retreat or a youth camp or meetings or something. And, that was fun. And, I didn't become good at it per se, but it's something I would do. I became a leader in that community. And then, it was kind of made it a habit to like organize these meetings and invite people in. Okay, so, all right, I think this is pretty much good, and I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this layer, duplicate, and then we're going to do the process now. We're getting used to our process here where we, the workflow of this. Okay, so I'm going to get these white borders now. So and another thing I did was in the Smash Bros community around 2014, 2015, I realized, I keep traveling to all these tournaments and getting second place and, not really improving that much because I don't have a lot of time to practice. And I remember, from the fighting game community that there was this guy who would host people at his home, and he became the best player in the world for a time. He won EVO, he won the tournament because he was practicing so much with people at his house. And they would always say, you're only good as the people you play with. And I thought, you know what? If I want to improve, I need people to practice with, and I need to foster that community, within my own community. So I started hosting at my house, starting with a couple people, and then just slowly finding people to the point where I was getting like 20 people, 30 people over at my house. And then we needed larger venues with which to organize local events. And then people kind of got used to it, and then they started hosting themselves. They started hosting their own events, and then that's good because I kind of put my own focus on no longer hosting and just competing, which is kind of what I wanted. I just wanted people to play with, at the time. So that's kind of that journey. And playing Super Smash Bros. I don't play anymore. Again, because video games, are not really healthy for me. That was weird. Okay. So, but why was I telling that story? I did have experience just organizing people. And now that like my life is more about, just working, and doing freelance work, I've never really been able to gather community in the same way that I did in the Smash Bros community and in my church activities, because those communities were like you had to get together, to pray, in a church meeting or to play Super Smash Bros. You had to sit next to each other, so you had to organize. As artists, it's like with most artists, art is just like an individual endeavor, and it's hard to like get a bunch of people to, we're not collaborating on the same thing, we're not learning the same thing. I know that maybe with art education it might be possible, and that's something I've been like thinking about doing because I worked as an art teacher for a little while in a private studio, and I guess that was a good opportunity. But I was kind of not really knew what I was doing in my life, and it wasn't my business. So I just taught. I did my job, and I didn't do that well, but that's what I did. Okay, I think this is done. Now I'm gonna hold on real quick before I keep talking. I'm gonna play back this animation. I am working on a timer, by the way. I'm doing timers now. So we're just going to use the time. Okay, so I think the animation looks good. You know what? I was going to change the smear frame so that like it looks like his there's another thing there's a couple things I wanted to do in the wind up frame. I want a couple more frames as he like kind of eases into the windup rather than instantly teleports down, and I wanted to create an after image. I think that like stays true to the manga also. I want like a couple frames. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a frame here. I'm going to reduce the size of that one, delete this one. All right, actually no, just add here. Gonna move this, just move it like that, change the length of it. I'm gonna pretty much redraw this one. I'm gonna get rid of this layer real quick so I can use that one as an onion skin. Get rid of that one too. So I'm gonna turn onion skins. Oh no, onion skins are on. So I'm gonna go to this layer. The onion skin is so dim. Yeah, I don't know why I turned down the opacity so much. Man, I think, I don't know what color to use because the green on the onion skins, you can barely see. I'm going to use blue from now on. Yeah. Okay. So, actually, I wonder if I take this and yeah, there we go. Just remove the white silhouette for now so that I can see the onion skin. Actually, let's just leave it. Okay, so here's what I want. I want an after image. I'm gonna make here. I want to let me see if I can split this one. Is it in this mode? Can I split this? I know there's a way to do it. I just want to split it right in the middle here. Track options. Convert layers to tracks? No. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Blend mode, mask. That's pretty useful to convert layers to tracks. That's actually what I should do in the future. Okay. I don't know how I can split. Oh, I just tap it like that. There we go. Edit split. Okay, so now here's what I'll do. For this one, I'm gonna draw in like a little bit of a after image here. Okay, so let's go back to drawing mode. Studio pen, we want technical pen. I'm just gonna trace. So this is cool because in the manga image, as he's doing the wind up, there's like an after image where he dodges some guy's kick. So this is kind of like an homage to that one panel where yeah, where he is like making a little after image of himself and saying wrong. He says wrong. And then I want another one here. I want the length of the wind up to feel right. This might be a little bit long if I add another frame, but we're gonna try it. Manipulating these frames is kind of weird, but I'm getting used to it in Procreate Dreams. Now let's try the timing here. Well, actually, here, let's just animate. So I just wanted basically one more frame where I kind of just take this frame and slightly lower it. This is just going to be a very subtle movement. Okay, so we're pretty much going to take the frame that we have and just move him down just very slightly. He's going to bring his hands in a little bit more. Okay, so I was talking about organizing community of artists like locally, and I've tried before, but it's like every artist is doing their own thing, and there are no like collaborative team efforts. So I feel like if you do maybe some kind of workshop where people can improve in their own skills, or just some kind of like co-work, you know, like a what do we call it, draw with me or study with me type of content, where people are just hanging out doing their own projects and they can take a look at their own projects in like a mutual workshop. Now I feel like a lot of artists wouldn't really have need for that, because I mean, if they have their own home setup, why would they want to do that in a community? But so what would incentivize, you know, that community to come together? Well, if I can work as a sort of a mentor where people you know, or I can guide people if they have any questions on their projects, just kind of a workshop or a guild type of setting. That's something I guess I'm interested in. But you know, it's something that maybe like down the line, you know, as a business or whatever. But of course, you know, this is all just kind of ideation. But in the meantime, I have a job already, and I have a school, and I'm studying to be an accountant. So there's like a whole lot of things I'm thinking about, but I don't want to waste my talent as an artist and my experience as a teacher. So just keeping all that in mind, like thinking about career goal right now, I do want to incorporate, you know, my talents and have Opus Lilium as a business where I can kind of bring it all together and offer services and goods that kind of use all my talents. First thing I want to do, like out of school, is like maybe join an accounting firm, you know, get some experience there, you know, continue doing what I do on the side, but with the intention of like learning how to operate an accounting business. And accounting business is sounds great because it's like they don't have to worry about their uh, bringing their taxes over to someone because they could just do their own taxes. I feel like there shouldn't be any legal issues there because I mean taxes would be the skill. So anyway, I just want a subtle transition here, kind of just lowering himself a little bit more. I might even do a third one. Not sure. I like this part because I can just trace it. Now, that is in person, right? And I feel like building community in person is a lot easier, and it really depends on where you get foot traffic. And for me, it was always at school or at a church. And eventually, once you kind of get some momentum with like one meeting and get it consistent, then, people will start telling their friends, and you kind of get this organic growth. And depending on your resources, you can really scale that growth to like exponential growth, if you know what to do. There was a point in the Smash community where I focused less on being an organizer and more of a competitor. But I feel like if I continued being an organizer, maybe there would have been like a different path. For me, I just wanted to play and be good at those games, so I just focused on being a competitor. But I think being an organizer is great, and the older I get, it's less about my individual performance and just, I guess, well, I don't know. Both are important. But I guess for art, I don't really want to facilitate my individual performance all that much. I just want to, just anything to, like, I guess, make money comes to mind, but rather, well, yes, but using community, is using the right word? Fostering community, fostering growth. And I don't know, there's some opportunity there because I feel like as artists, everyone is kind of doing their own thing. And fostering community will make it easier to do things like teach and build teams and stuff like that. So somehow this is kind of what I want to do. Okay. I might even do one more, which with kind of the same idea. Oh, I need to switch these two because this one has the after image. Okay. Gonna change the lengths of these things. Okay, so coming back again to online, how can I foster that online? Well, people do it. People do it all the time. They have their Discord channels. I do have one. People have their ways to invite. They have subscription models on Twitch and YouTube and stuff. And there was a time when my Twitch was more active, and I would grow my community that way. And a lot of people in my Discord are just from my old Twitch channel, which I don't really use much anymore. Okay, so we're looking good here. I think I want to do one more wind up frame to get it really smooth. You know what? I think, yeah, that's too long right here. So I think if it looks better if it's just 2 frames there, including that after image. But how can I start building community from YouTube? I've seen it happen. Jazz Draws, Hyun's Dojo. Hyun's Dojo is a gigantic community. I could just piggyback on Hyun's Dojo. I don't know. I don't know much of people there. I don't want to just use him. I think this looks good. And And now that we have that, we can use actually to make it even more smooth. We can use an after image on this frame. What if we do that? Let's see what that looks like. This is just kind of speculative. We'll try it. After image. This is some cool Dragon Ball Z stuff. Or I guess it's just Hunter x Hunter stuff, because they'd use the after image in Hunter x Hunter. But like, I know I get, you know, a few viewers. I don't know who's a consistent viewer, because I've heard people approach me and talk to me saying, hey, I actually watch your videos. Like, when I see them in person, I'm like, wow, that's cool that you say that, because I have no idea who's watching these. But how can I take that, you know, the people who are watching them, and start fostering community? Because maybe they're not artists. Maybe they're just people who watch my video because they're my friends, or they want to just keep up with my life. I don't know. But from there, how do we foster community? Because it doesn't have to be artists. It could be anything. It could be Christians. It could be, I don't know, just people. I want to take, because Opus Lilium is not just about art. It's like fostering growth to create the one's most beautiful self, you know, like as what's his name, Father Matthew Kelly would say, the best version of yourself. You know, that little cliche line. It's become cliche now, but it is a good line, you know, become the best version of yourself. As an after image, I think just silhouette will be fine. Okay, let's look at how this looks now. That looks cool. Little after images. Yeah, and that kind of goes with the move. And then once we're here, how much time do we have left? We got a couple of minutes. Once we're here, what I can do is like, now that we're in this frame, we can start animating like the electricity separately. So like, I'm gonna split this one now. Or maybe I should add a new track, huh? So how do I add a track? So for this one, we're gonna start animating some electricity here. Yeah. So let's find the timing. So about right, I guess as soon as he gets in the pose, like right about here, because we don't want this to take too long. We'll just put it here, and then I'm gonna use a blue, maybe a blue studio pen to get these effects. Yeah, that might be good. And then we'll just use the color blue for now. We'll use a light blue or dark blue like that. Okay, yeah, we'll just do this for now. So from the Ibuki, I don't know how big I want this to be, but we'll keep it kind of in this range. But I remember in the Ibuki, there's no circle tool, is there? Ooh, it doesn't do the autocorrect like Procreate does. So I'm just gonna sort of eyeball a circle. Because I noticed when Ibuki's in Ibuki's Raida attack, there is a little circle that's for one frame that kind of comes in, and then here, just kind of bring it in, these little energy waves. This is just a sketch for now, but we'll kind of fix this as we go. Yeah, this is when you're doing effects animation, it's very malleable, and I have a lot of fun doing this. It needs to come lower. See, this is where the selection Procreate Dreams not having a selection tool really sucks, because I would have just moved the whole thing down a little bit. My double tap is not working. Oh, there's my timer. All right, guys, that was fun. We got some cool stuff done, and we just got to finish this off in a little bit. So I'll talk to you guys later in the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.